What's up, everybody? It's your girl Shanae Russell with Discover Your Charm, and this is part two, kind of 1, 2 of the Got Ghosted series. And so, if you remember from part one, we talked a lot about what it looked like to be ghosted, and then we went into 3 ways that you can bounce back after the ordeal. And so, here it is, part two: what to do when he's ghosted you, but now he wants back in. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss this. Welcome back, everyone. So, here we are. He has just ghosted you, and now he is trying to throw an olive branch to get your attention again. At this point, you can be feeling maybe one of 2 ways. You could be feeling relief, because at that point you might be thinking, okay, it wasn't me. It wasn't something that I did. He is interested. He does want to build something with me. It can start to make you feel really good that he reached back out to you, right? Or you could be feeling irritated, kind of like, bruh, did this nigga really just ghost me? Did he ghost me and then try and walk back into my life? So like I said, one of 2 ways. And just a disclaimer as well. If this is not the first time that he's ghosted you, and this is like the 48th time that he's ghosted you, you might want to start looking at what he's trying to tell you. And what he's really trying to tell you is that you are not valuable and that your time is not valuable. What he's really trying to tell you is that he's got a couple of yous on his list, and that if his main person is not working out, if he's having a fight with his main person, he might hit you back up. It might sound a little something like, hey, I was just thinking about you. Man, I was thinking about this thing we used to do, and I was trying to figure out what's going on with you. Where you been, homie? Hey, how's everything going? I miss you. It might sound a little bit like that, because that's always how they try to hit you with the I miss you. Anyway, there are a couple things you can do when you've just been ghosted and now he's trying to get back into your life, and you're trying to figure out, should I invite him back? Should I allow him to come back into my life? There are a couple things you can think about, and one of the biggest things is to collect your data. Get your intel. You need to find out all the questions, all the information to figure out what happened in that period of time. Why did he ghost you? What was going through his mind? Why could he not communicate with you? Why did he not tell you what was happening? And honey, you don't just need to collect your data. You need to be FBI, you need to be CIA, counterintelligence, a lawyer, a preacher, a teacher, a doctor. You need to get all the information. You need to figure out all the strategic ways to uncover everything he is trying to tell you. Okay? Peel back the layers, read between the lines, pull back the covers, anything and everything that you can use to figure out what is it that he's trying to tell you. Most likely, 9 times out of 10, he's already told you how he feels, and you just really ain't hearing him. Okay? Now, a couple ways that they can tell you how they feel when giving an explanation and trying to get back into your life. One of the explanations can look something like, I was just really busy. There was a lot going on, man. You would not believe me if I told you. Now, at that point, you're just trying to gather your information, right? You want the cold, hard facts as to what happened. You're not trying to throw a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of all of that. No, you just want to listen. You want to use your active listening skills. You want to turn them on, because you just want to hear what's going on. At this point, it's going to be vital to what you do next. Another explanation you might hear. Well, I like to move slow in relationships. I like to just get to know a person, but it seemed like you was going kind of fast, so I was trying to just slow us down a little bit because you was moving fast. Now again, ladies, at this point, you were just trying to gather your intel. You don't need to do a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of that. All you need to do is use your ears and look with your eyes and figure out. You don't need to figure it out. Just listen to what it is that he is saying. What? The cold, hard facts. Because you are who? The FBI. Okay? Another one you might hear. What you mean I was ghosting you? Nah, I ain't ghost you. That's just the way that I interact with people. That's the way that I talk with people. Even like my mom, like I talked to her a couple times and then I could go months without talking to her. That's just the way that I interact. That's just my interaction pattern. It's not you. It's not a personal thing. Like I was just ghosting you. That's just the way I talk. So at this point, you have a couple decisions to make, right? You're trying to figure out, should I invite this person back into my life? What should I do now that he's ghosted me? Now he wants back in. Should I allow him back in? And after listening to any of these excuses, if he has any one of these excuses that I just gave you, ma'am, you need to say, boy, bye. You need to let that go. There doesn't need any kind of thought process around that. Nope, you don't need to think about that. You need to let that go. So, gather your intel. And if you see that he is giving you excuses that really don't line up with what you believe, it's not sitting right with you. And it's just like flashing lights. Oh no, don't do that again. Don't walk down that alley. Don't you take that lane. You might want to sit back. You might want to heed to those warnings and to those signs because it's trying to tell you something. And what you don't want to happen is that he ghosts you again and you become a habitual ghostee. Because at the 48th time, if he done ghost you again, man, we're going to start to ask another question. And it ain't going to be about him. Okay. Now, second piece of that is really looking at how to guard your heart once you accept, if you accept him back into your space. And that's really looking at his consistency, his communication, and his level of investment. Is he being consistent? Is he being consistent? Is he making those dates and actually going on those dates? Is he telling you he's going to call you at a certain time and he actually calls you at that particular time? Is he being consistent with his actions, with his words, with who he is, with his behavior, with what he is telling you? Is he consistent? Communication. Do you notice that he's on one week and he's off the next week? Are you seeing those flashing lights again? And if you're seeing them again, are you taking heed to them? Because if he's not using his communication in a healthy way, you don't need that type of behavior in your life. Okay? Is he communicating in a way that is healthy for the building of a relationship? Not a dysfunctional relationship, because he could be communicating for that type of relationship too. You want the healthy one. Trust me. Third thing, his level of investment. Is he investing his time, his resources, his money? Yeah, I said it. His money. Because if he ain't investing his money, he can go invest it in some new Jordans. He can go invest his money in a new jersey. That means he can also invest in you. Is he investing his strength, his patience, his encouragement, his motivation, himself? Where is his level of investment? And you have to look at that when guarding your heart. You don't want to give him all of your time again, invest all of your emotions. And that may mean that you just have to go on lunch dates with him. No more dinner dates. That may mean that you need to go out with friends and you can't go out alone. That may mean we can't go to each other's houses because I'm guarding my heart. And I'm not falling back into the same trap that I was in part 1. Okay? So there it is. There it is. Got ghosted. Now he wants back in. What should I do? Collect your intel, because you will be FBI, CIA, teacher, preacher, all of that. And then make sure you're guarding your heart. You're listening to his explanations. I almost said excuses. Sometimes they are excuses though. But you are listening to the explanations. And you are making a decision as to whether the level of genuineness is there. Whether you feel like it's something that you can hold on to and you can have him come back into your life. And if that is something that you want to do, you're looking at his consistency, his communication, and his level of investment. So until next time, continue to discover your charm. And I'll be doing the same.